So, happy Friday, folks. Welcome to the FMJ Ghandi Happy Friday podcast, or vidcast, or whatever cast you want to call it, because I'm just going to put it up on most of the social media platforms. So this week, what the fuck? Just putting it out there. Jesus. It made me laugh and made me cry. Let's start with something happy. How about Katt Williams, ladies and gentlemen? Let's give a round of applause for fucking Katt Williams for topping some dumb, ignorant shit again. You see what happened to this guy yesterday? You hear about what happened to this guy yesterday? Apparently, Katt Williams is hanging out in the projects for God only knows why, so he can show that he's still hood or some shit. Like, when you make it to get out of the hood, not to come back. So anyways, he's hanging out. He's got a group of children, kids around him. And this one kid's like taking a Snapchat, and this other kid, apparently, reportedly, allegedly, a 7th grader, is like, oh, it's in Katt's face. Katt's got his back against the wall and all that stuff. Katt just started mumbling something, and then just like steals on the guy, just right hook, bam, But it was also the weakest glancing sneak punch. I mean, it kind of just like he made contact, but it was the kind of contact where you go, he didn't lock his wrist, ladies and gentlemen. That was his first mistake. He didn't lock his wrist. He didn't lock it out. So he had that nice little kind of I don't know how you put it, but it was like kind of flick to it. And so then it just jump cuts to this guy taking him to the ground. He takes him to the ground, and I swear, at this point I'm watching it like a UFC fight commentary. Like, the kid, he's like working the back, swinging the hips, and gets around, gets full control on the back, like side control almost. Sinks in the underhook. Now, if he had passed the underhook and got that over it, he would have slipped right into the choke. And Katt is just like a nubile infant. It's just like, can't do anything except he's an adult man who could talk, and is just talking shit when he's getting his ass beat by a child. I mean, he says he's in 7th grade, so what are you in 7th grade, like 12, 13, something like that? Well, the nigga looked 30, in my opinion. So, I don't know. And then Katt's just continuing to talk shit, getting up. Say, is that your child? How is the community y'all gonna let him attack a celebrity? Like a broke nigga attack a celebrity. I'm just like, classic Katt Williams. Which is, I feel like all this stuff is a double-edged sword, because it's not funny in the sense of, like, if he either has, I don't want to go and jump and say he has a drug problem. I think it's more of just a mental chemical imbalance in his head, like some kind of bipolar, blah blah blah. Like, he's just really quick to jump off. Actually, he reminds me of another short nigga I know, which I'll leave his name off the cast. Let's just call him Chucky. So Chucky, short, has the Napoleon complex. Like, he's a short guy and he's angry, but will get angry at the littlest things. Like, I recall one time just hearing stories of this guy flipping out, where it's coming out, everyone's out drinking, and you have self-esteem issues and whatnot. It's just like, what can I do for you? It's called self-esteem. All right. So his problem is, he would always try to go after, if we go out to bars or something like that, his standards were too high, higher than how tall he was. Okay. So he's always trying to go after dimes, and then would get rejected and stuff. So each rejection, whittle away at that self-esteem, whittle away. And then he'd get angry. But But he wouldn't get angry with strangers. He would get angry and want to fight his boys, like the people he's out with. Specifically, there was an engagement where, okay, so I'm out drinking and everything, and you know, having a good time, and you know, things are going normal. And you know, Charles is trying to mac and hit on people, and he's getting rejected. And so we're getting back. We stop at a cookout, get us some burgers, get us some food, and get back to my buddy's apartment. And one of my friends who wears glasses tries to sit down on the couch in the recliner, and then Chucky is like, "Hey, that's my seat." And then Max is all like, "Well, I didn't see your name on it, so I'm sitting here." And so Chucky just hauls off and punches Max right in the goddamn face. Like, in the face. Like, busted his glasses and shit. Like, and everybody's like, "Whoa, what the fuck?" And it's like, "I told you that's my seat." Like, so I understand that spark plug reaction of like, there's something wrong inside in your head. And so it might not be drugs. Maybe it's a combination of both. I don't know, because I'm not in his personal life like that. I'm not one of his confidants, consiglieres, or anything like that. So all this is funny and entertaining right now. It gives some great material for stand-up. I think it's supposed to be performing in Raleigh. I'm going to get tickets to that, see if I can check that out. But yeah, it's just like, why are you fighting children? Like, Katt be like, it's now open season on toddlers next. He's just fighting any and every one in that fucking Mortal Kombat double Dutch prepping stance of his. Like, it's insane. What else is insane is Brussels. Jesus. ISIS is just like, just how could you do that? How can it's just all those people in the airport? Freaking I mean, they use like nail bombs, like that real nasty shit, where it's like, it may not even kill you right away. You might just have nails and little bits and pieces in your body, shrapnel, that they can't even get out. And then it just works its way around, or it just heals around, and maybe it's in your skin, and so it creates these huge little scars, keloid scars around it, like, and it stays with you forever. It's just, it's horrible, man. It's horrible. And they just do it, and it's just like, okay, how do you like our recruitment poster? Like, is that I don't see how that's something you want to be a part of. And then, of course, there'll be the people that will be like, well, it's no different than what the U.S. does in drone strikes and whatnot. And you know what? Like, I'd be a hypocrite trying to sit here and say, like, well, it's different because X, Y, and Z. Like, yeah, X, Y, and Z may be this, and A, B may and that, but C is still the resulting answer. Like, people get hurt on both sides. They had nothing to do with it. So, whoa, fucker. So what can you do? Pray. But, god damn it, Joe Biden, and I like Joe. Joe is like that uncle that is just like, he keeps fucking up, but you love him. Did you see him on MSNBC? Did you see him talking about how the Belgian people are resilient? He's just up there mumbling, just saying nothing. And I'm just trying to figure out, like, Joe, what are you doing? What are you saying up here? What are you talking about? That doesn't make any sense. He's just mumbling. He said something about, yeah, blah, blah, blah. they've got the backbone of grandma. Like, what? The backbone? Is that what you just said? Backbone of grandma? I don't know about y'all, but I know typically when I think about the backbone of grandma, that shit is pretty fucking brittle. Like, Joe, just shut up. Just sit down somewhere. It's like someone let him out, left the fence, left the gate open, and he just wandered out and just started doing interviews and shit. Noah was like, oh shit, who let Biden out? God, you gotta watch him. He's just gonna wander off if you don't keep up with him. Like, shit. Now he's up there talking. Oh, okay, someone get him. Someone get him. Oh, shit. But yeah, Joe Biden is just that guy. He's that guy. I still love him, but damn, son. Damn. But anyways, still on some other politics. That governor in Alabama, yeah, out there, getting some sugar on his cookie, apparently. I still have to reread that story, but basically this guy, he's been married for like 50 years. This is married for 50 years, has like adamantly, stood up for the sanctity of marriage and had all these commercials. And so basically by standing up for the sanctity of marriage, he's so like anti-gay, this and that, man and woman, so-called traditional marriage. And so of course media outlets had a field day when it came out that he was getting divorced. And when they were presenting the story, and you should watch it, I was watching was it MSNBC? That's way too loud. Sorry about that. It's a little hot out here. It's AC going, so stay cool and crisp. Rachel Meadow's show on MSNBC. That's where I saw all of this. Basically, it was like, okay, I guess in well, this is everywhere, but they have, how your school has a mascot for whatever, and it's usually some kind of animal or whatever. And so I'm watching, and apparently every year the governor and his wife and whatnot take pictures with all the mascots, all the public school mascots, high school mascots, whatever. Anyways, people wearing those big ass animal heads and suits. They look like furries. So I was watching and how they were giving the breakdown. They made it imply that he was getting divorced because he was a furry or something like that. That's at least where I thought I was going. So that might say more about me than him or anybody else. But apparently, the wife is smiling in the picture, and apparently an hour before that she had served divorce papers to the husband. I was just like, damn, that's some shit. But yeah, apparently the governor was having an affair with his senior political advisor, and they've got text message and a supposed sex tape, which I don't think anybody wants to see. But from what I understand, the sex tape, if this lady get off your phone, you'd be fine. You could drive. Jeez. I can't stand people on their phones talking while they're driving in traffic. That's why half of these accidents happen. It's not drinking and driving, which is still bad. Half of this stuff is from on your freaking phone. Can you disconnect for a second and pay attention to what you're doing? Jesus Christ. I tell you, and yeah, that's what happened to me earlier this week. So it finally happened on 77, trying to go to my CrossFit class. And so there had to have been an accident, a major accident way up ahead, because it was pretty much bumper to bumper traffic. So I'm like, man, I'm going to be late getting to class. So what am I going to do? Well, I guess I'm going to get off here at this exit and probably go, try to work my way around. If this truck tries to hit me, oh Lord, I get too amped up while I'm on this highway. It's too much. This guy's sliding back and forth, looking at a map while he's driving. Ah! Goodness gracious. Please, Lord, I don't want to die. So anyways, shit. Alright, so anyways, I was, so I'm trying to get over so I can get off on the exit as soon as it comes up. And, geez, someone's entire freaking laundry is spilled all over this highway. What the fuck? It's like running shorts, panties. What the hell? Underwear. Oh Lord, this is gonna be a hell of a day. Alright, so I get over to get off on the exit, and again, keep in mind, it is bumper to bumper traffic. You are not moving, okay? You're really not moving, except for a few inches of if someone, and I'm just looking all around, and just people on their phones, looking at whatever, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, this and that, Snapchat, whatever they're doing besides paying attention to what they're supposed to. And I'm not getting at people about that. If you're stopped and there's no traffic movement, you're trying to change the song on your phone to the next thing, whatever, okay, bam, bam. But I'm talking about people who are going down the rabbit hole, kind of just not aware of anything. And so I swear, I'm just sitting ready to get ready to move. I'm stopped. I'm at a complete stop, and then bam, just the person behind me, and I happen to be looking up in the rear view for some reason for a brief second, and this fucker was on his phone, not paying attention, and rear-ended me. And I was like, son of a bitch. And at first the impact wasn't I was jostled. I went back and forth, and I'm like, oh fuck. I wasn't even concerned so much about my personal, my health. I was straight. I was like, if he fucked my car up, But then I did a woosah moment because he realized he fucked up. He's getting out his car to come over. We pull over on the side, and I'm just like, okay, woosah, woosah. I was actually listening to the Joe Rogan podcast, and he was talking about an accident he got into recently. I was just trying to, all right, channel that energy, just hey, no one's dead, right? Okay. So he comes over, you're all right? I'm okay. Yeah, I'm okay. Are you okay? And everything. I get out, we'll look at my car. Nothing's wrong with it. Well, it's fine. Nothing's wrong with his. So I'm just like, all right, you're good. I'm good. I shook his hand. I did give him a little smart-ass comment hey, be safe. Because you're fucking up, buddy. I didn't say all that, but I was just come on, man, just be safe. All right, he got in his car, went about his way, and all that stuff. But it's just it's crazy. We're so addicted to our phones and social media and all that. Just put it down. Just unplug for a second and pay attention to what you're doing. Man, it's infuriating. I'm just getting nervous every time I get on this highway. And I'm about to get on 77 here in a little bit, and I just swear, if it's another one of those, well, I swear, I'm going to do something. No, Spence, you're going to get your ass back on 77 again the next day because you have to, because you need to get to where you need to be. So, yeah, I'll just complain about my first world problems, and yeah. But what I was saying before I got distracted by people who can't drive, so the guy was married for 50 years. Wife served him divorce papers, and apparently was having an affair, and there's a sex tape, but it's more like a sex recording. And what they were reading off of it was just mad creepy. It was just ugh. It was because you look at this guy, he's not fuckable. Not fuckable for, I guess he's in what I would say his 70s, you see him, you don't go he's fuckable, okay? And they showed the chick, it was Rachel something. They kept blurring her picture out. I went on Google and looked at her, and she's just, what it is that classic. You're in the office. You grab what's close to you, and she was close enough, and she was fuckable. That's what it was. It was like she's young. I'm not trying to say she was like she's like bad or anything like that, like bad chick, like, oh, she can get anyone she wants. Like, for that environment, it's just like, it's a convenience kind of deal. I'm not trying to badmouth. She's a lovely young woman. She's providing a service to our governor, literally. But yeah, so apparently senior. But the crazier thing, another thing, caveat to that, is that no one's knowing how this woman's getting paid. Like, she's not on the payroll for like the gubernatorial office or whatever. She's not on that. So where is she getting paid from? And she's like up there at the top, like one of the top senior advisors for him. No one knows. And apparently, like, I guess the last guy, I don't know all these positions. Honestly, I really briefly looked at it today. So I'm an idiot. Don't take any of my stuff to heart. Plus, this is on the internet, guys. Don't believe everything. But like one of his main guys, you know, he's the one who broke it, called a press conference and stuff, and it was because he got fired. Then that's when he spilled all the beans and all that stuff about how, like, the guy's personal bodyguard, or, you know, person over security had received a text message that was sexual in nature, and then he got it the governor left the cell phone in the car, so that's when he saw it. And then, but I don't know about this the tape recording. And what's interesting, they read a quote off of it, and it was just like hella creepy. It was like, I enjoy walking up behind you and feeling your breast. Oh, I was like, it's like, it painted a picture. You put a picture in my head that I didn't want. It was just, oh man. You should have seen him at his press conference, the governor of Alabama, just trying to lie. He was apologizing, but then he wouldn't say what he was apologizing for. I mean, it was just like, come on, what is this? What's going on here? What's this shit show that we're trying to put on? So yeah. But super excited for this weekend. Batman v Superman is finally out. I've been doing my best to try to avoid any more spoilers, because I don't want... Here's the thing about movies nowadays, is that the trailers, and then, like, you know, your outlets like Esquire and your movie news, whatever you go to get your entertainment and stuff like that, they keep leaking stuff, and it shouldn't even be called leaks. It's just like you purposely just pissed everywhere so everyone would see it. Oh, this guy's pulled over on the side. His car is smoking. That's why you gotta get your maintenance, buddy. Oh, fuck, bruh. Damn. He's got clouds of smoke. Everybody rubbernecking. Everybody looking at this guy like, fuck. Sucks. Really sucks, bruh. Anyways, before I got distracted, yeah, they just leaked so much, because before, all I knew that was going to be in this movie, so I knew Superman was Batman, and then they announced that Wonder Woman is going to be in it, and then I was like, oh, that's going to be dope, cool, alright, I'll take Wonder Woman. And then they announced Gal Gadot was going to play her, which I was just kind of like, I don't know how I feel about that. She's not really an Amazon, like, she's not like she doesn't have that fighter build. You know, I would have rather preferred someone like a Gina Carano or Ronda Rousey, Misha Tate, Holly Holmes type. But at the same time, name an actress who has that build that's good at acting. Because you're only going to be fighting for so much. You're going to have to put out that dialogue. So, you know. But then they just start doing stupid, like, okay, so Doomsday, you know Doomsday is going to be in it. And then apparently this is a whole setup for Darkseid as well. And these were unintentional, like, I'm just on YouTube and then just something will pop up and it's like, oh, well, shit. I know about it now. But But I did my best, even if when seeing it, I didn't watch any more trailers unless they were in the movie theater, or I didn't like look at any other articles. So I'm pretty good. The only other little spoiler that I know of is I know well, let's see. And also, they're supposed to introduce Aquaman, Flash, and all that. The only thing I know is Flash is going to show up, who I'm like the biggest Flash fan ever. Like, he's my favorite DC hero. But apparently he's going to show up, and I've read a little bit of it, and apparently he's going to be like maybe a dream sequence, so he's not really in it. I don't know, but my whole thing is they're introducing all these characters that have very substantial backstories, and me as a comic book nerd, fan, whatever you want to call it, I approach it like this. I personally don't need origin stories, because I know these guys' background. I know what they do, where they come from, most of their stories and all that. But I have to take a step back and understand that most of mainstream America has no idea who some of these characters are outside of like Batman, Superman. Have very and like, I know nobody really knows what Aquaman. I know most people don't know Cyborg. I know most people don't. People probably know Flash just because he's definitely got the show on WB now. He's had a show in the 90s. Who else is going to be showing up? Wonder Woman is kind of, she had the show during the 70s, right? Wasn't that the 70s or the 80s? I think that was 80s, actually, sorry. 80s, and, so, but still, like, even with that, not that many people really know the background, so I understand. So for me, it's like when they have the origin movies come out, it's like it's boring and tedious for me, but then it really just sets me up for, okay, if this one's successful, then the sequel, like, bam, they can just go all out. I don't have to see how they came up with their names or how they got the suit or whatever, blah, blah, blah. It's just like, bam, we're in it. Good, I can start getting some great content, and they can be restructuring better stories or even create new ones. Which is what I heard about this one, is like, they're taking the Batman v Superman from Frank Miller's run. But I guess they're putting a different twist on it, which clearly they have to if they're going to have like Doomsday and all that stuff in it. So, but long story short, I'm super psyched for it. I'll probably be talking about it. Maybe I might even do an extensive review on it. But yeah, please go out and watch it, because it's not so much of a thing of like, it might be a bad movie. I don't think it will be. Pretty confident it will, but I want the DC Cinematic Universe to take off, because I want my Flash movie. That's all I want. I just want Flash. Even though I got the TV show and everything, I just want my Flash movie, and I don't know anything about this guy they got to play him. I hope he's good. Honestly, I would have preferred the TV show Flash, because I've grown to love him. But anyways, that's talking off. So go see Batman v Superman this weekend, folks. It should be really good. Now, outside of that, how am I doing on time? About to go over here. 17 minutes. I gotta get over, guys. I gotta get over. Alright, cool. So yeah, so we got that. I don't know, folks. Outside of that, just trying to stay on top of things, folks. Not too many other things that were very entertaining. I did finish Daredevil on Netflix. If you've been sleeping on the Netflix Marvel shows, you need to really get on that, because they're doing some phenomenal work there. What just came out recently was season 2 of Daredevil, where they introduced the Punisher, and he is doing Punisher-y things. Like, he is wrecking house. I thought the overall series, and I might do a more of an actual review on that one too, but my short notes on the season 2 is overall season 2 is good. It's definitely worth watching. I won't try to spoil it, but they're great appearances from. Well, fuck it. Hey, if you're listening to this, I'm putting spoilers. It's spoilerific. Super spoilers. Kingpin shows back up, played by Vincent D'Onofrio, and he is just money. And I might be biased because homie was in my favorite movie of all time, Full Metal Jacket. So anything he's in, I'm pretty much a fan of. But the way he plays the Punisher, plays the Kingpin, and his delivery, and even his fight scenes were just real, like, organic. It's like he took that one punch from the Punisher and just came back. It was like, okay, this is what we're doing. Just shook it off and kept going. And John Blumenthal, I believe I'm pronouncing his name correctly. John Blumenthal plays the Punisher. You may remember him as Shane from The Walking Dead. Does a great caricature or presentation or performance of Frank Castle. Like the grittiness, the violence, and you also you also feel the emotion, like because they do something interesting where they play as like he's trapped in like a psychotic loop of every time he goes to sleep or dreams, basically he relives the moment of his family dying, being killed in front of him due to gang violence. And so it's like he has to relive that every day of his life. So he's kind of trapped in his own personal hell. And so, I mean, they didn't go too deep into it. They kind of just mention it as an aside. And you don't really know if, like, hey, was the, it's part of the story. They're just saying this because of the circumstances of that particular scene. Or if it's like an actual, like, yeah, this really is happening to him, and it's not some kind of like ploy or distraction. But man, I really want homie to get his own television show. And I was watching another YouTuber that I'm actually a big fan of, Grace Randolph. Although I'm not always a fan of all of her opinions, but hey, we're all entitled to what we want to say. I would watch her stuff, though. Her review on it was pretty on point for the most part. Although I disagree. I think Punisher should get his own show. Because, I mean, there could be a lot to it with not only just his character, but bring in some of the relationships that the Punisher has with other characters within the Marvel Universe. But a valid point, though, is if they keep creating these great, awesome characters and keep doing all these spin-offs and stuff like that, you'll never, I mean, it'll just push back to production on other shows. And then, honestly, it won't even become Netflix. It'll just become, this is Marvel's house. Blah, blah, blah. So that's what we got there. But I still am of the opinion I want a Punisher show. Punisher's one of my favorite because he's just straight up killing people. He does not play games. One of the best lines is like, what you do is a half measure. When I put them down, they they get back up. When I hit them, they stay down. So loved Punisher. Electrica, I was like, she turned it around like halfway through the season. When she got introduced, it was kind of alright. And that's kind of my thing, where it's so awesome to have like these other heroes and major characters in these comic book movies, like in the film, because it's like you always say, like during the Thor movie, it's like, okay, so Thor's fighting this dude in England, why hasn't Tony or anybody else shown up to help out? Like, come on, why would this be happening? And it honestly goes back to screen time, and you don't have enough time to develop these other characters, because if you got so many people in there just showing up, you're gonna have to sacrifice screen time and everything. So yeah, as much as I like the combos and everyone showing up and whatnot, it's also a challenge, because you realize, and that means maybe the heroes you want are not going to get as much development as they should. But yeah, all right. So again, my objectives on these are try to get enough content for an hour. So, you know, give you my beautiful savages something to entertain yourselves while you guys are at work, sitting at your cubicle at your desk or something like that. So I apologize if I disappoint on this this cast here, but in the future I'll try to plan these out a little bit more, because honestly these are just my honest ramblings and rants and tomfoolery and jazz. Just got out. And I don't know, you guys tell me if you like these while you guys want these with video. I'll probably end up laying this on top of either some GIFs, or I might do a separate one with just video game content and me just rambling on top of that. I'll try out a couple of things. You guys tell me what you like, what you don't like. I'm sure there'll be plenty of trolls in the comments to voice their opinion. So, looking forward to that. But yeah, anyways, hope you enjoyed. If you didn't, well, like it anyways. And, you know, I'm not even going to do the usual sign-off with the like, share, and subscribe. You're going to subscribe if you want to. You're going to like if you want to. You're going to share it if you want to. And if you don't, guess what? That's the beauty of being American. But anywho, till next time, smooches, my beautiful savages, and peace.